Servus and welcome to Flo's German Kitchen. I'm Flo, this is my kitchen, and I show you how to cook the German way. Today we are traveling from the Spätzle origin, Schwaben in the southwest of Germany, a little further to the east to one of the southern regions of Germany, that's the Allgäu. Allgäu has one special trait: the people there love cheese, so if ever something gets to them, the first thing they try is, hey, how does it taste if we put a little cheese on it? Same happened to the Spätzle when they traveled from southwest of Germany, Swabian, to the east. They passed by the Allgäu and they added their cheese, and what came out is one of the greatest dishes we have in the south of Germany, Kässpätzle, and that's what we're gonna do now. So today I've chosen the Allgäu variety of Spätzle, the Knöpfle. If you want to know more about Spätzle and how to prepare them at home, check out this video here. Apart from the Spätzle, of course, we need cheese, as it's Kässpätzle, cheese Spätzle. I'm choosing Appenzeller today. What kind you choose is really a matter of your personal taste. If you like the more lighter tasting cheeses, I would recommend to take Emmentaler. If you like it a bit stronger, take Appenzeller. And if you want to go beyond that, there is an Austrian cheese that's called Bergkäse that tastes really strong. For me, actually, it's a bit like taking Appenzeller but adding a dash of mice piss, so I don't eat that. I prefer Appenzeller, and that's what I'm using now. And like every good hearty meal, Kässpätzle need a lot of onions. I have already sliced these into half rings, so you don't have to watch that. Next is salt, pepper, and of course a good guzzle of German beer. Wunderbar. Next thing is to grind the cheese. Use any kind of cheese grinder you have. I'm using the pretty traditional one. No need to make a fuss with extra fine grated cheese because it melts in the Kässpätzle anyway. That piece of cheese has about 250 grams, and that's a pretty good amount to use for two people. Now that's a nice pile of cheese. I'm just wondering if I should have made a little bit more Spätzle to it, but we will see. I'll set up the stove and we start making cheese Spätzle. So first thing I do is that I saute the onions, and the Allgäu is a region that's got a lot of cows, a lot of dairy industry. Therefore, to saute the onions, I will use some good Bavarian butter. Sauteing onions is not really science, but I'll always make sure I don't use too much heat, because a little patience always helps to get the best out of what you're doing. Oh man, I just love onions, and these onions are just about to reach the point of perfection. Nice and brown. 30 seconds, a minute, and they'll be done. Wonderful. Yeah, this is exactly what you love in your Kässpätzle. Now what I'm doing is I take out some of the onions just to garnish the Kässpätzle later, and then I add my Spätzle. Of course, you can just stir the Spätzle, but if you like to put on a show, of course you can also toss them like this. It looks so professional. So the time you can fry the Spätzle really depends on how long you fried the onions in advance, because of course you don't want to burn them now. So I think this is really a good point. I deglaze that with a good shot of beer that adds some extra flavor. I add the salt, so the salt can already dissolve in the beer, and I take quite a lot of salt, but don't overdo it because the Appenzeller brings a lot of saltiness already. Here's the cheese. I don't take everything at once. So that's the point where you really watch things develop. So one thing that can happen is that if you add a bit too much cheese, the Spätzle start to look a bit dry, and that doesn't need to be a disaster, because there is some cure that I actually just took over from the Italian kitchen, and that's keeping some of the pasta, or in that case Spätzle water. So if the Italians do the mantecatura, the finish of adding the sauce to the pasta in the pan and just finalize everything, they always use some pasta water that contains still some of the starch that was in the dough. And so if they want to cream something up, they just add a little pasta water, and I'll just do it to show it to you. And now you can see it's turning pretty moist. And we'll just taste great and add some little creaminess to the whole thing. Now that looks really great already. Before I arrange it on a plate, I will give it a try. Look at this. Oh yeah. Yeah. These are just perfect Kässpätzle. I just love to eat my Kässpätzle with fresh, crisp lettuce. So yeah, to the hearty, salty Spätzle, you got fresh, slightly sour taste of the lettuce and the vinaigrette. So that's just perfect. Let's finalize that with the onions I kept earlier, and also I still have some parsley remaining from guess who? Still the survivor parsley. Here we got them, these wonderful Kässpätzle. This is so lovely. You get these, the cheese, salt, pepper, those hearty flavors. You also got a piece of umami from the roasted onions. This is just great. And now one thing you do, if you add the lettuce, you have that combination of the hearty Kässpätzle and the fresh and sourish taste of the lettuce. This is just a perfect combination. I have to restrain myself. This tastes so lovely that I just don't want to stop eating. So, if you like my video, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, tell your friends about this great channel, and just celebrate German cuisine. Cheers on German cuisine, cheers on Kässpätzle. Wunderbar.